My husband and I got married when I was 33 and he was 34. He was working at a popular company in the city at the time, and the place was second to none in his industry. A lot of his colleagues were younger than us, people in their 20s fresh out of university. A lot of his peers were female, too. My husband is very particular about how he wants things done, and if I didn't make him dinner after work or forgot to do the laundry, he would be very critical of me. Once he told me I was the very worst among all the women he knew. He always complained that plenty of his female colleagues came from dual-income households, and they managed to balance being a great mom with always doing an amazing job in the office. I was working for a company that often made me work late into the night, but he would still ask me why I couldn't balance work and family like they did. We earned a similar amount, but I would get home much later than him, usually at about 9 or 10 at night. My husband always waited to eat with me, though. He said he had always dreamed of having a wife who would always have a clean house and food on the table ready for him when he got home, and I just couldn't do that for him. I would end up cooking a hot meal for him at past midnight, when I just wanted to climb into bed and sleep after a long day at work. Even if I left something in the fridge and told him to heat it up when he got home, he would just sit around and not eat until I came home and cooked something fresh for him. The amount of resentment he felt for me for failing as a wife was no joke. I would work so hard at the office all day and then come home late just to have to hear him nagging about dinner not being ready for him. Because of me having to work so late and not getting home until nighttime, he would just sit and starve while he waited. I tried to ask him to understand that I wasn't doing it on purpose. It wasn't like I was just hanging out with friends or something, but he didn't want to listen. He told me I must just be incompetent and not know how to do my job if it took me so long to finish all my work every day. He was never going to understand why I had to stay late at the office, so I gave up trying to explain.
Are you serious? Again?
What do you mean, again?
I don't have anything to wear.
I don't understand. Your closet is full of clothes you would wear. How come you can't see anything?
Of course that's all you would think about. There was a specific shirt I was going to wear today, and it isn't here.
Okay, well, I did do some laundry at the weekend, so maybe it's still drying. Couldn't you just wear something else today?
Huh. This happens every morning. I don't understand why you always do laundry so late in the evening. I never have dry clothes to wear.
I got back from work really late yesterday. I didn't really have a choice about when to do the laundry. If it's such a nuisance, why don't you just do it yourself? It's not very hard to turn on the washing machine, especially since you get home before me after work.
You should look at my mom and try to be more like her instead of complaining. She was honestly superhuman. She did all the housework completely on her own, and she had a full-time job on top of that. I know it's possible to do both. If you just worked a bit harder and didn't sit around, you would be able to do everything properly. It's just because you're lazy, that's all.
Every time you talk to me about this, you bring your mom up and how she could balance it all. Can't you just stop comparing us? I know your mom is a very impressive woman, and she clearly worked really hard for her family. You have to remember that we have different work schedules, though. I don't get home until 10 p.m. every night. I end up spending most of the day out of the house.
That's why I'm telling you to do better at work so you finish everything earlier and can come home and do the chores. You're only staying so late every day because you're not very good at your job, that's all. We've been married for about a year now, and you've been on birth control the whole time. If nothing changes, I think we should just get a divorce. You need to decide if you're going to get pregnant or if you want to split up, because those are your options. My family name is going to die out if you don't have a baby, and I won't let that happen.
Honey, you know I'm already having a tough time with work and everything right now. Can you imagine adding childcare on top of everything? Because we both know you wouldn't help with that and it would be my responsibility. I just don't understand how you expect me to do everything.
Hey, my mom had an office job just like you, and she managed to get everything done at home too. She raised 2 kids, for God's sake. A woman should be dedicated to taking care of her family, whether or not she has a job too.
Man, why can't you get rid of that old-fashioned way of thinking? We're clearly not going to agree while you still have that idea stuck in your head. I wish you had made this clear to me before we got married. If we need to be a dual-income household and split our finances, I don't see why we can't split the household jobs too. I mean, you said that we should. Why didn't you tell me everything would be my problem before the wedding?
When did I ever say that? Split the chores?
You're just going to deny it as soon as you get caught?
I never said anything like that. You must have heard it from some other guy.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
I'll say it again. You need to decide quickly if you're going to have a baby or if we're going to get divorced. Let's not waste any more time. Don't you think you could make yourself more useful by at least having a child? Right now, you're just a lazy wife who doesn't really do anything and can't get anything right.
Wow. You could have said that a bit more nicely instead of deliberately trying to hurt my feelings.
What do you mean? I have plenty of things I can complain about when it comes to you. Why should I try to put them nicely just to protect your feelings?
You're not the only one who's unhappy right now, you know. I feel like I'm about to explode from trying to do everything and never saying a word to you about helping me.
Oh, really? Well, then let's just end it.
Hey, Mom. Are you there?
I'm in the living room, sweetie. What brings you over?
I just missed your face and wanted to see you, that's all.
Well, you've seen me now, so no need to stay. Go on, off you go.
Wait, what? We haven't seen each other in ages. Why are you suddenly pushing me away?
You're married now. This isn't your house anymore. You have in-laws you should be visiting instead of me.
Mom, I'm your daughter. Why are you giving me such a hard time? I just wanted to see you.
Because I told you not to come visit me. You shouldn't be here.
I came because I had something I needed to talk to you about, though.
If it isn't something good, then just get out, because I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God. Are you even my mom anymore? Why are you being like this? How can you tell me not to come to you when I'm worried about something? Do you think it's reasonable to tell me to shut up if I don't have anything good to talk about?
Fine. What is it then?
I think me and Luke are going to get a divorce. We've only been married and living together for a year, but he's been so demanding and intense, and I just can't stand it any longer.
Why did you even bother getting married then? You knew what he was like before the wedding. Why would you get married if you were only going to get a divorce after a year? I guess really you just wanted to come over so you had someone to complain to, cursing at your husband for hours.
Mom, whose side are you on here? I'm saying I'm really struggling.
My God. Do you think I'm automatically going to be on your side for everything? If you hadn't gotten married, you would have been my problem and my responsibility for the rest of my life. Don't stress me out by coming to me with all of this and expecting me to fix it. Just deal with it on your own. You're a grown woman. And under no circumstances are you allowed to get a divorce. Don't even think about it. It's not like he had an affair or anything. Even if he had cheated on you, it's just because he's a man. It's nothing you need to get a divorce over.
Do you really think I deserve that? You make it sound like I'm useless.
Sure, maybe you are useless. You always studied hard and did pretty well in high school, and I paid to put you through college. You got that singing scholarship too, and you could have done something with that talent. You found a good job and married Luke, and now you're coming to me complaining about your life. Whose fault is your situation now? It's all because of choices you made. I set you up more than enough.
You know, most parents would be proud of their kids for doing well in school, not telling them they're useless even though they've made a life for themselves. I'm earning money for myself and making my way in the world. Why are you telling me it's not enough?
There's no point in studying if you're a woman. It's completely useless. You don't need to be smart or educated to live a good life if you're a woman. You just need a husband who can support you. All you need is a loving husband, and you should be happy.
Oh, whatever. Again with the same thing over and over. Why did I even bother coming here? I was an idiot to think I could talk to you about anything.
I'm telling you what to do. What else do you want? Just go home and clean the house properly. That's your responsibility. If you're a woman and you're not doing a good job with the cooking and housework, I don't know how you expect your husband to love you. Of course you're feeling ignored.
Is that really the advice you want to give to your daughter? When she came running to you for help, crying her eyes out. Some mother you are.
Everything I'm saying is with you in mind. Why would you ask for help if you don't want to hear it? You're acting like a spoiled child.
If you know I don't want to hear it, then just don't say it. You know this is hurting my feelings. I realize now that I can't even ask my own mom for support. I won't waste your time again, since you clearly don't want me here. When I got home from work that evening, I suddenly got a phone call from my mom. She said she was sorry for being mean, and that she got so angry she got carried away in the moment. Eventually, she said she realized that divorce was the best option if I was finding the marriage too difficult, and not to worry about it too much, especially since we didn't have any kids. My mom has always been a very nervous person, so I guess she panicked when I started talking about divorce. I guess it made her upset, and that's why she got so angry and yelled at me. She is pretty conservative, too, so I was surprised when she changed her mind and said she would support my decision. I think that if I spoke to her about it again, she would still be upset. I don't think she can really change her mind so quickly and do a complete U-turn like that. She has always been against divorce, even when I was growing up. I don't really know why I expected any big gesture of help from her. I guess I just felt desperate. After our phone call that evening, I talked to my husband again. To be honest, I hadn't spoken to him since our last conversation, and I was nervous to bring it up. After my phone call with my mom, though, I got a bit of confidence back and asked to talk to him. I didn't get home until 11 at night, and sure enough, he had been waiting up for me again. After I made us some food and we had finished eating, I carefully brought up the topic again to see what he would say. I assumed he would cut me off before I could really say anything about my feelings or how the situation made me feel. But surprisingly, he let me get everything off my chest without interrupting. After I finished talking, he said he was trying to make an effort to be more open-minded about it all.
First, can we both agree that I have a good job and a decent character? There are a lot of girls who would have chosen to marry a guy like me. I'm a real catch.
I agree. You're tall and handsome too, which just makes you the whole package.
I want to talk about why I chose to marry you, though. You were so polite and calm, and always respectful to your elders and the people around you. I thought that you were a great partner, and you listened to me and my opinions. After the wedding, though... Well, I thought you would respect the things I said, but...
Okay, but what?
I just realized that we see things very differently, and I felt us starting to drift apart. We couldn't agree on anything. To be honest, I think the only reason we're still together is out of loyalty and because we're used to the way things are. Obviously, I'm not a woman, so we feel things differently and have different roles. The reason I haven't been helping around the house has nothing to do with this, though, and it wasn't really a conscious decision for me to not do chores. Before I married you, I used to help my mom with the housework and getting everything done at home, you know?
Well then, why are you now saying it's a woman's responsibility to do it all? What made you change your mind?
The reason I used to help my mom is that we never really divided things up by gender. She always worked so hard, and she was absolutely 100% committed to her family. Even though it wasn't my job to do the chores, I wanted to help her because I knew how hard she worked. I don't get that same feeling with you, though.
I don't think I understand. What do you mean you don't get the same feeling?
Well, when I look at you, it doesn't feel like you're doing your best for our little family. It doesn't seem like you work very hard. I guess I just didn't help because it didn't seem like you were making an effort too.
What does it look like to do your best, though? How do you decide how hard someone is working?
Let me see. How can I explain it simply? If you were doing your best at work, you wouldn't have to work overtime to get everything done, and you wouldn't be so exhausted when you came home. You would have the energy to do things when you got back from work. You would be able to clean the house, do laundry, wash the dishes, all the jobs that need doing every day. You would have a hot meal ready on the table for your husband when he got home, too, so he wouldn't have to wait hours for dinner. Then, in the morning, you would wake up early to get breakfast ready and do a bit of makeup so you look pretty when your husband got up. You should have time to tidy up the bathroom, too, and put all your brushes and products away so he could shave and brush his teeth. If you were doing your best every day like this, then we wouldn't be arguing so much and we could just move on from this. I would even take out the trash to help you.
Are you serious? That sounds like an absolutely impossible daily routine. You're asking too much. Besides, why do I have to do all of that and all you have to do is empty the trash? Do you think that's fair?
Oh, and another thing. Don't you think you've gained some weight in the year that we've been together now? You get home so late you don't have time to go to the gym or work out at all. But if you woke up earlier, you could go for a run before work or something. Otherwise, you could eat lunch quickly and squeeze in a workout at the office. You would still have 40 minutes of your lunch break to walk around the neighborhood quickly if you ate in 10 minutes. That could be a bit of exercise for you, too. Why are you neglecting your body?
Sure, I have gained about 3 kilograms since the wedding. But I get home so late and have dinner so late. How do you expect me to cook and eat in 10 minutes?
Well, that's your problem, and I can't fix it for you. It's because of all these things and your bad time management that I feel like we're not close anymore. I don't understand why you're happy to live like this. You don't work hard at the office, you don't do a good job of managing all the housework, and you just sit around and gain weight all day.
Are these your criteria for a good wife? I get home so late from work every day. Do you really think I would want to start cooking and cleaning straight away? I don't get much free time, and all I want to do is shower and go to bed as soon as possible. You could just make food for yourself, you know. You're an adult man who can take care of himself. I don't see how it's fair for you to blame me for all the problems we've been having. You could even prepare some food in advance so you had leftovers that you could just heat up when you get home.
See, this is the attitude that I really don't like. I told you it upsets me when you don't make any effort, and you clearly have no interest in changing your behavior.
Oh my God. Please just stop. I am so sick of hearing about how lazy and useless you think I am. It feels like 20 times a day I'm being told how I'm not doing enough and you deserve better. Don't you think that could be the reason why we've drifted apart?
If you don't want to hear it, then you need to make a change. I wouldn't complain if you were doing your best.
I literally cannot do any more than I am right now. Let's just leave it. We tried to talk about things and figure out a middle ground, but obviously you just believe that housework is a woman's job. You think that for a woman to be good enough, she has to somehow balance a successful career and managing all the chores, cooking and cleaning after a long day at the office. You're clearly hung up on the idea of my appearance being important too, as if I would have time to think about that in between everything I have to do all day. You think you're right, and you've been raised with these beliefs. I don't see how I can convince you to treat me like an equal when you won't even listen to me.
God, this is so annoying. I'm obviously trying to resolve this or I wouldn't be talking to you about it, but it's exhausting trying to explain my side of things and I just want to give up. I'm leaving. I'm not going to sit here and defend myself when you're convinced I'm the bad guy.
What? Where will you go?
Why do you want to know? Are you worried I'm going to go off and meet some other woman? As soon as we're divorced, I'm going to find a new woman who can be a good wife to me. Unlike you. You realize I can do that, right?
I don't know if you're actually capable of doing it, but I'm sure you're more than willing to go off and meet someone else. You know, when my colleagues and I are stuck at the office until late at night, I talk to the girls about what's been going on with us. They think you've been hiding something from me. You've complained often enough about other men being interested in me. They think you've gone off to soothe your ego.
Of course they would say that. They're women. You're just jealous. I do actually have a conscience and sense of morality, though, so I'm not going to meet another girl. You should be grateful that I'm a decent man. I'm going to sleep at my parents' house. I need some space from you.
It's late. Don't go now. If you turn up in the middle of the night like this, they'll just worry about what could have happened. They're going to realize we're fighting.
That's why I'm saying we should just get a divorce. I'm sick of fighting with you every day like this. It's boring and exhausting.
After our fight that night, my husband and I live separately. Ever since he mentioned us getting a divorce, I started really throwing myself into my work and giving it everything I had. I barely did any housework. My husband was furious, and I thought he was going to explode with anger every time I saw him. As soon as he got home, I could feel the frustration rolling off of him in waves. The house was a complete mess, with laundry everywhere and dishes piled up in the sink. I didn't cook him dinner in the evenings either. He was really going through it. We spent about a month living separate lives in the same house. Every day I would get home from work and order some takeout for dinner, then climb into bed without doing any chores. I washed and left all the wrapping and bags from the food I ordered in the garbage, but I never took the trash out. My husband eventually decided he couldn't stand to see the mountain of trash, and he kicked it over and scattered everything across the floor. He started screaming about how our house looked like it had squatters living in it, and started yelling at me to do the dishes and put on the laundry. Honestly, I thought he was going to have a seizure. He was so upset. I pointed out that I hadn't been cooking at home since I was getting takeout every day on my way home from work, and told him it was obviously stuff that he had used and never washed up afterwards. The house slowly started to look more and more like a disaster site. There was food left out on the side going moldy, and everything started to smell bad. Eventually, I just put everything else in the bin too. I figured that after I let things get so far from clean, my husband would have no problem with me asking for a divorce. I realized that he wasn't adding anything to my life, and that I would manage just fine without him. I had just taken him in like a lost puppy and put up with him for the last year of my life. Obviously, I had gotten married when I was young and pretty, but since then I had gained weight and apparently given up on taking care of myself. My husband made it very clear that he thought everyone in my family was pretty ugly, and that he was way out of my league. When I asked him properly about legally separating, though, he was very uncooperative and seemed to be against the idea. I tried to bring it up again and asked him nicely about what he thought, and he told me he would think about it. Even if something happened and Luke was dying tomorrow, I don't think he would ever admit that he did something wrong. He would never apologize to me for what he said or express any guilt. While I was talking to him about getting a divorce, my parents-in-law interrupted us and started giving their 2 cents. My mother-in-law told me that she knew her son could be difficult, and that she had expected things to be difficult for me after we moved in together. She apologized for not saying anything before the wedding, and tried to justify it by saying that she just wanted to see her son happily married. The fact that she had to apologize while her son didn't really made me mad about the whole situation. To be honest, I think his behavior is a reflection of being raised badly by her. I can't blame her for not doing a better job, though, knowing how hard she was working to do all the housework and childcare by herself while having a full-time job. She's only 60, and she can't even stand up straight because of years of scrubbing floors. I think I'm a bit of a softie like that. Seeing someone who has really struggled, I can't bring myself to judge them for how they got through a tough time. I can't stand to see my husband's face anymore, though, and I know something needs to change. I had contributed most of the money towards our house, so I hated the idea of having to leave it because of him. One day, the state of the house got so bad that my husband seemed to get sick. He told me he didn't want to come home, so really it all worked out in the end. He said that he would go off and find his own place and I could keep the house. He went to live with his parents after he moved out, and his mom called me later to say that the 2 of them were finding it difficult to live together and had started squabbling too. She asked me to think about things, and then come and collect my husband from her place. After a couple of months, I took pity on her. When I got to their house, my husband was nowhere to be seen. They told me he had gone out for work, even though it was the holidays. He never did any overtime before, though, so I thought it was really strange that he would go in over the holidays. I didn't see what could be so important that he had to go into the office. I guess they were covering for him, and that he had spent all night drinking with his friends or gone off with some other woman now that we had separated. I didn't care where he was. It didn't matter to me. First, I assumed he might have run away from home, but if he was with a new girl, then that was fine with me. I had let go of the idea of things working out between us long ago, and didn't consider myself a part of his family anymore. I decided that I would sell our old house, split the money between us, and that way we could have an amicable divorce without any complicated court sessions or lawyers involved. I don't know what my husband was thinking, but I thought that meeting a new woman might have changed his mind about trying to stay together. I still didn't know why he was so reluctant to actually file the paperwork when I had last mentioned it. He had always been a bit of a womanizer, so I assumed he would meet someone new pretty quickly. This made me realize that we should finalize the divorce sooner rather than later. I was living a peaceful, stress-free life now that I didn't have a husband, and it was great to not have to constantly think about what to cook, what chores needed doing, and how I was going to complete my work projects and do all the chores. My work was going really well too, since I could concentrate properly instead of worrying about my failing marriage. It reached the point where I was wondering why I had ever gotten married in the first place, and wished I had walked away from the wedding when I had the chance. I got married when I was older than most girls, and I hadn't realized how much it was going to change my life. My one relief was that we didn't have any kids that would be stuck in the middle of our divorce. Finally, my husband and I legally separated without too many complications.
Excuse me, Katie. Can you help me with something?
Sure, Ruth. How can I help?
I don't suppose you happen to know where I can find the details of my insurance policy.
I'm sorry? What do you mean?
Well, my son used to pay for my insurance for me, and I can't find anything about it now. Do you think he took it? as he removed me from his plan.
It sounds like that might be what happened. Have you tried asking him about it?
His mind has been all over the place lately. He seems pretty overwhelmed. He told me he's been looking for it, but he hasn't called or texted me any updates.
Oh, really? That seems odd. It might be worth calling your insurance provider and asking them to send you all the information again, so that you have a copy too. I'm sure they wouldn't mind since you live at the registered address for the account.
Yes, I suppose that's what I'll have to do. How are you doing anyway?
I mean, I'm still working, obviously, so I've just been quietly getting on with my life, I suppose.
Has Luke tried to contact you at all? Or are the two of you not really speaking?
Well, I don't think there's much for us to talk about, to be honest.
He's always been such a smart, popular guy, you know. The girls just won't leave him alone.
Oh, is that so?
Yes! You know, right after the two of you got divorced, he came home with a 22-year-old college student that he said he was dating. Honestly, I don't know what to do with him some days. He came home the other day and made a huge fuss, talking about how he was going to pay off her student loans and put her through graduate school. You know, it was very dramatic.
That does sound like a big decision. At first, when we started talking about separating, he said that he didn't want to and begged me to stay with him. I heard that he met his girl after that and ended up falling for her so hard that he asked me to go ahead with filing for divorce so he could be with her.
Oh, really? I guess you already knew he has been seeing her then. He was acting like such a fool, promising her all this money that he didn't even have and saying he would pay her tuition. They had a huge fight at our house about it and ended up breaking up. Still, I didn't like her anyway. She was so young and so immature still. He needs someone more sensible to keep him grounded.
Huh. I never heard that they had broken up.
Well, before I knew it, he came home with another girl, and she was only 20 years old. Goodness, I just don't know what goes on in that brain of his. Is this how dating works these days?
A 20-year-old? That's really young.
She's a college dropout, and she said she's working part-time at the bakery to save up because she's already 5 weeks pregnant. They're already talking about getting married since they're having a baby, even though they've only been dating for a few months.
Well, I guess I should be congratulating you on your grandchild?
The pregnancy isn't the thing I have a problem with. My husband and I made it very clear that we were against the two of them getting married so soon after they met, but Luke just ran off to get his marriage license anyway. My husband was so shocked and angry, I thought he was going to run after him and put a stop to it. You know this too, but Luke just isn't the type of guy who normally does this sort of thing. It's so out of character. I have no idea what's wrong with him. It's like he's completely lost his mind. He spent all his money on the college student he was dating before this new girl. He's got nothing left. I don't know how he plans to pay for the wedding or find them a house to live in together once they're married. Honestly, I've been grinding down my teeth in my sleep. I'm so stressed about everything. I never know what he's going to do next. I kick myself every day for letting him treat a pretty, smart girl like you the way he did. He made a huge mistake in letting you go. Truly.
Oh, do you think so?
I'll go on at you all day if I don't stop myself. I only wanted to ask if you knew where my insurance paperwork was, and now I've wasted your afternoon talking about nothing. I guess I just thought you might be curious about how he's doing. My son has all these women fighting over him, and he's just letting them take advantage of his good nature.
You know, I don't think that's actually what's going on here, Ruth. Don't you think it seems strange that he's only dating very young girls? It seems a bit creepy.
What? Creepy? Well, I had better hang up now. I guess I'll talk to you later sometime.
Thanks to my ex-mother-in-law, I finally heard some news about my ex-husband after months of not knowing what he was up to. I always knew there were bad people out there in the world, but I thought they were living good lives. It always seems to be the good people that end up suffering the most. I have to admit, it was kind of satisfying to see him being punished for how he treated me. When I heard from his mother about how his life turned out, there was a part of me that thought it sounded like he could still make something of himself. I guess that after we finalized our divorce and he started dating that young college student, her family's objections were just too much for them. That seems to be why they broke up anyway. The funny thing is more to do with this recent high school graduate that he's dating now, as she works part-time in a bakery downtown. I can't believe she's 5 months pregnant and that they're going to get married. I genuinely can't understand why he wants to be with her. She's so young and naive. Poor thing. If he was into young women, I really don't understand why he got with me. He knew I was a bit older, but maybe that's the real reason why he ended up hating me? I guess I'll never really know. I think the quiet and peaceful life that I wanted was never the dream for my ex-husband. Maybe we were doomed from the very beginning. It was natural that we didn't work out, I guess. And now here we are, 6 months later. It's crazy how fast time goes by. One day, he came to find me again. He didn't have any idea where my new apartment was, though, let alone the floor number or unit number. Instead, he just waited for me at the subway station at roughly the time he knew I got off work. There's only one exit at my subway station, so he knew where I would be. He wanted to talk to me for a while and asked if I had time, but it's a really small subway station and there was no cafe for us to sit down and chat. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood, so there wasn't really anywhere in the area for us to talk. More important than not having anywhere to sit, though, I didn't have anything left that I wanted to say to him. Honestly, I just thought it would be good to say a final goodbye now that we had both moved on with our lives, so we wouldn't keep wondering how the other was doing. As we started to walk in the direction of my apartment, I noticed the shopping mall was still open and told him that I would give him 30 minutes exactly to say whatever he wanted to say to me. He promised he wouldn't come bothering me again after this, and honestly, I was curious to hear what he had to say. What on earth could he want to say that would make him go to all this effort? He seemed really desperate to get it off his chest. He had always seemed so confident and assured when we had lived together, so it was strange for me to see him so nervous. So, we stepped inside the cafe to talk. To be honest, before I even sat down, all I could think about was how he was going to get married to a young girl in her early 20s, like my ex-mother-in-law had told me about. It made me wonder if he was planning on inviting me to their wedding, whenever that was going to be. It seemed crazy, but based off his weird behavior all evening, I couldn't be sure that wasn't what he wanted to talk to me about. I couldn't figure out what to say to start the conversation. Come on then, say whatever it is that's on your mind.
I've just been thinking. What if we got back together?
No, I don't want to do that.
Really? You didn't stop to think about it for even a second. Are you really that against the idea? Unless you've met someone new. Are you dating someone?
No, I'm not seeing anyone right now.
No, me neither.
What? What are you talking about? I heard from your mom the other day that you were dating some new girl.
Oh, well, that. It was just with one of the girls that went to the same college as me. She was a few years above me, but we were pretty close, so we met up for some food and to catch up. It really was nothing, I swear. We just grabbed some pizza together.
That's not what she told me, though. Apparently you're dating a 20-year-old girl who's fresh out of high school, not some college student. I heard that she's 5 months pregnant, too.
What? She seriously told you that?
Yeah, your mom told me everything, complaining about how you were going off the rails. If you were going to try and convince me to take you back, you should really have covered your tracks a bit better.
But it's nothing serious, honestly. I was never planning on marrying her. We were just seeing each other for a little while.
God, I can't believe I used to be in love with this guy. What was I thinking? I wish I could go back in time and warn my past self not to go through with the wedding. I can't believe he would talk like this about a woman he got pregnant. She's literally having his baby. And then to claim it was nothing serious? As if I would believe that. He's caught in the act, trying to come up with a lie.
How come you aren't saying anything? Do you agree with me? Do you regret that we ever got divorced? Be honest with me. Surely you've been lonely living by yourself. Don't you miss having me around? My mom keeps telling me I should never have gotten divorced. She thinks we made a big mistake. I know you loved me once. No, I know you still do. Come on, what do you say?
Well, I guess some people never change. You're exactly the same Luke I remembered from 6 months ago, the last time I saw you. Honestly, it's almost funny that he hasn't come to tell me he realizes he was wrong, or acknowledges his own mistakes and bad behavior. Imagine asking your ex-wife if she still loves you 6 months after your divorce. If he had come here to apologize, then maybe I would have had some mixed feelings and thought about taking him seriously. Instead, he's just here to beg me to take him back. I don't even feel angry now. I just feel sorry for him. What happened to him? What is he going to do with his life now? I can't even recognize him as the angry little man that used to yell at me about being a good wife and doing all the housework. Does it look like I still love you?
Well, no, I guess not.
If you said everything you wanted to, then I'm going to head home.
No, wait, just a minute. To be honest, that actually wasn't what I came here to talk to you about. There was something else. I wanted to give you this. Here, take it.
Your wedding ring? I don't need this, though. Why are you giving it to me?
Just take it. I just wanted to return the ring, that's all. I never wear it, obviously, and I don't want it just lying around.
I didn't want to take the ring with me, since me and Luke had split up, so I just left it on the table in the cafe. Why would he even give it back to me? And why didn't he do it straight away after the divorce? It was so weird to just slam it down on the table like he did. He just ran away as soon as I told him I didn't want it, too. It was almost like he was embarrassed or something, trying to hide his face. I really didn't have any use for the ring, though, so there would have been no point in me taking it with me. I don't have any plans to get married again soon, and I would want a new ring anyway. They were only steel rings anyway, that we got when we started dating as a kind of promise ring. What did he expect me to do with it? I couldn't really just throw it in the trash, but it would have felt weird to give it to someone else, too. Leaving it in the ashtray in a cafe felt like the best option. It felt fitting, leaving it behind in the trash, just like how I left my relationship with my ex-husband. When I got home, I took a second to stop and think about what had happened, and I felt a real sense of relief and happiness. Luke may never have apologized for how he treated me, but it was kind of satisfying to know none of his new relationships were working out either. It was validating to know I wasn't the problem. I may not have had any real revenge, but it was exhilarating to feel like I had won in the end. He had always gone on and on about how he could get any girl he wanted, and here he was with none. Maybe he finally realized that I really wasn't that bad as a wife. I wonder what he said to his mom when he got home after our conversation. I bet he yelled at her about how he had wasted his time saying a bunch of useless things to try and get me back. It's so funny to think about how she blamed Luke's relationship failing on his new girlfriend being too young, instead of admitting that her son was a man-child. Anyway, that night I climbed into bed, turned on the aircon, and had the best night's sleep I've had in a while. Maybe I'm a bad person, laughing at someone else's misfortune. After what he did to me, though, I think I've earned the right to laugh at his life falling apart. He wasted a year of my life nagging me to be good to my in-laws, to cook him dinner every night, to keep the house clean and serve him like a good wife, all while holding down a successful career. Since his girlfriend was so young, I guess she didn't realize that his behavior was totally insane and just moved past it. But I'm relieved that her parents stepped in to steer her right. It's a shame she got pregnant, but I'm sure Luke will go running back to her now he knows I'm not going to take him back myself. Obviously, now that I live alone, there are some things that have changed. I can't earn as much money as two people, so I've had to make some cutbacks, and I never come home to a hot meal that my partner has made for me. Then again, I never had someone else cook for me even when I was married. Even thinking of my past gives me goosebumps, and I'm just glad to be free of it. Every day I feel so happy and peaceful now that I'm free of my ex-husband.
Hey, quick question. How old are you turning this year, Maggie? Are you turning 35 next month or 34?
I'm turning 34. Why?
34 and 35's basically the same. But seriously.
Why are you asking? And how did you forget? We're the same age. Shouldn't you know my age without asking? We've been together for 5 years now.
Yeah, I've been thinking about some things recently.
Is something bothering you?
Well, I read something that popped up online. It mentioned that after the age of 35, there's complications with getting pregnant and even giving birth to a baby. Isn't being single at 34 pretty bad?
What? We've been dating 5 years. That's why I'm still not married at this age. You said that you wanted to focus on your career still, and marriage was something we should think about once that calms down. That's why I didn't say anything, and I've been quietly waiting for the right timing. Who are you to say all this? Now? You're talking about age now? Seriously, did you not think of this when we started dating or when you proposed?
I thought those complications happened much later in age. I didn't think it was from 35. Men start becoming charming and attractive from 30. And you know how they say it's the peak of their life, right? There's nothing better than a younger woman, but I thought you were still okay. I guess thinking about it, I've just noticed you're really close to 40.
So you saw the online article and saw the age and thought of my age. You thought that my age is already crossing 1 foot into the borderline of those complications. So this is why you're asking about my age suddenly.
You know, I've been thinking I want a few kids. I'm an only child, so I always felt jealous of my friends who had brothers to play with. But it'll be hard to have more than 1 kid with you, right?
Stop assuming things. You can't just think I can't have more than 1 child because of my age. It happens a lot more than you think.
Well, like I said, I was thinking about a lot of things after I proposed. And I was thinking of how your family are all farmers, right?
Yeah, my parents are farmers, so what? I told you that when we started dating, remember?
I don't know how I feel about farmers. I don't really want to help out. If they ask me, I'll have to also go with you, right? It'll make it seem like I'm a bad son-in-law if I don't go. And I can't tell them I don't want to help out.
Seriously? Why are you saying all of this all of a sudden?
I know, I did propose. Now that I'm thinking about everything, I'm just feeling like I kind of regret things. Maybe I should have thought this through before actually proposing to you.
That's not funny, Taylor. We've already finished meeting with our families. Not only that, we're already getting our wedding prepared. You know that, right?
I'm accepting a farmer's daughter. That's a lot I'm doing on my end already. Don't you think there should be something good in it for me?
Wait, what? Are you serious? Accepting a farmer's daughter is what you thought after getting engaged? There should be something good for you? What are you saying?
I mean, they say farmers have an old way of thinking. So maybe you can be more of a classic wife. Like maybe listening to everything I have to say. How about you accept all the requests I say as the husband? You can be a yes man. Oh well, you'll be a yes woman, I guess.
Are you joking? Please tell me you're joking. Or are you drunk already? Is that why you're talking about this suddenly?
No, I'm being completely serious.
In my eyes, my parents have always been treating each other fairly. I've always felt that way since I was a kid. I respect that relationship, and that's what I've always wanted. Being equal is my ideal relationship, even after getting married. Not like one of them listening to the other and doing everything. That's gonna burden the one person doing everything, and it'll become so stressful. I'm not looking for a relationship like that where one of us is gonna have to hold in our feelings.
Then I'll have to rethink our marriage.
What? You mean like, you want to call off the wedding?
I can't say that. That'll make me a horrible guy, right? But I am a man in his 30s. It's the best time for me. I've been pretty popular to girls in their 20s recently. Like at work, younger girls keep flirting with me. When we go drinking after work, those girls keep asking me to exchange phone numbers.
Do you hear yourself? Do you really understand what you're saying?
Yeah, of course, I've been thinking about it. So, I kind of came to the conclusion that if you don't decide to become a yes woman, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go for a younger girl. That's all I want to say, but it's your call.
I was waiting this whole time, and I thought you finally proposed. But seriously? This is what you tell me now?
What can I do? I'm being approached by younger, cuter girls recently. I have all the options. I actually recently met with this huge company president's daughter. You know the company M Foods, right? They have a bunch of famous restaurants.
Yeah, of course I know of the company.
We decided to collaborate with them for work and we're gonna release a product together. I was in charge of that, and the person in charge of the project from their company is the daughter of that company. Meaning she's super rich. Not only that, she's younger than you. I didn't tell you, but lately I've been going out to eat with her outside of work. She keeps saying that it's to research for work, but I'm sure she has feelings for me. Like I said, I'm popular with girls.
So you're saying you want to dump me and move on to her?
I can't say that. What would that make me? But I'm just saying, I have a lot of options, unlike you.
That's enough. It's my fault that I've been letting all the things I felt were off in this relationship. I should have known. I started to think I should settle with you since I've been with you for so long. I guess I lost my way. I want to rethink our relationship, so let's just put off this wedding.
Are you sure you want that? You're the one that's gonna have a problem with calling this wedding off at 34.
Maybe, who knows? But I don't want to keep talking to you right now. Give me some time to think about it.
I'm sure you're gonna come back to me and marry me. You're single and 34. You're like a dog with a snack being hung in front of you. How can you resist? How can you not want to marry me? I'm all that you have. Who would choose someone that's starting to enter their 40s soon? You only have 2 options you can choose out of. So why don't you just calm down and listen to me? Marry me and become a wife who's a yes woman, or give up on marrying me. Maggie, there's something I want to talk to you about the reception dinner. It seems like I could get the rare fish that day for the reception. The one that you wanted. I think we can confirm that we can get it.
Hi, Nancy. Really? But don't they say fish goes bad super fast? Wouldn't it be a little difficult to have for the reception?
Supposedly, it's at the peak when the wedding's happening. I know a person who works at the fish market and they offered to help out. They said they'd be able to pick it up first thing in the morning and bring it to us on the day of. They're super excited about it and planning everything for the reception. Is that okay?
Yes! Oh my god, Nancy, thank you so much for everything.
I'm so glad you're okay with this. I was worried I might have gone overboard. I don't want to burden you.
No way. I'm so thankful you're helping me with this. I wouldn't have been able to plan this without your support. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Don't even mention it. I'm so thankful that you're marrying my son. I raised him as a single mother, right? I feel like I might have spoiled him a bit, and he's a little stubborn. You're like an angel to deal with that idiot.
Oh my, I'm definitely not an angel.
He doesn't have a father, so I'm sure you're worried that I'm the only one that's here for him. I know you can't tell me your worries since I'm gonna be your mother-in-law. I really hope that you can think of me as your real mother. That might be asking for too much, but at least if you can think of me as your real family, that would make me so happy. You don't have to hold in anything, okay? I can't read the lines and guess what you want to actually say, so you can straight out tell me everything.
You've been nothing but nice to me, even before the wedding and me joining your family. Honestly, I'm actually really excited that you're gonna be my mother-in-law. I'm sure there are things I'm gonna burden you with, and I'm incompetent in many ways. But I hope you'll share with me and teach me your wisdom.
Teach you my wisdom? Oh my, I don't think I have anything I can teach you, Maggie. You're already so wonderful and intelligent. Not only are you intelligent, you even cook so much better than me. I think there's so much more for you to teach me.
Next time, let's cook together. I'd love to spend time and learn about your life. You can also teach me the kind of food he likes.
That'd be great. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, same here. Oh, I almost forgot you contacted me to tell me about the reception dinner. I'll notify the venue about the reception dinner. I'm so excited about the dinner now. Thank you so much, Nancy.
So, there's something I've been hiding from you.
Okay, where is this coming from suddenly? And how have you been?
Good, actually. Anyways, remember that president's daughter I talked to you about a little while ago? We decided to get married.
Excuse me? Did you just say married? So you got engaged with her?
Yeah, we kept meeting and we were kind of in a relationship. Last night I was on a date with her and I told her that if I'm gonna marry someone, I want it to be her. And she said she was really happy to hear that. We both talked about what we wanted and got engaged. In order to get married, we both need to confirm our feelings and what we want, right?
That's true. That is important if you're gonna get married.
I was able to confirm her feelings for me, and now I'm officially engaged to her. I told you she's into me. Not only did I score a younger girl, she's rich. So I'm officially gonna become rich too. If I marry the president's daughter, that means I'm basically the president's son. I'll be the one who takes over the company soon enough. So, I'm canceling her wedding. You're just a poor farmer's daughter. You guys can't be compared. No way I choose you over her. As the next president to be, I can't stand being married to a commoner like you.
What? Whose wedding are you canceling?
What? Of course I'm calling off the wedding with you. Our wedding is not happening. Sorry, but I can't marry a poor farmer's daughter now. I have the potential to become the next president, to become rich. So I've decided I'm not gonna marry you. It won't take me long to forget you, but it might take you forever to get over me. Sorry about that. Anyways, as I said, I'm calling off the wedding, so you're okay with it, right? Well, it's not like you have a choice. By the way, the reason why I'm calling off the wedding is because you didn't accept my request, right? So it's your responsibility since you're at fault. I'm not paying a dime for the wedding, so take care of it on your side, okay?
You're not making any sense. I'm planning to get married next month. With, of course, someone that's not you. So I don't get why you're talking about our wedding. Also, what wedding venue are you talking about?
What are you saying? You're joking, right?
No, I'm a little bit confused of what you're talking about. Remember we broke up half a year ago. So why are you talking about us suddenly?
What do you mean we broke up? We didn't break up.
Yeah, we did. Weren't you going on dates with that president's daughter because we broke up? Are you kidding me? We haven't spoken in months and you thought we were still getting married?
Stop asking questions. That's a different story from this. We were even engaged, so how could we break up? My dad kept on bugging me about when my wedding is gonna be. That's why I got the wedding venue and everything ready. And today is that day, the day we were supposed to get married.
I'm not following. So you thought you were still engaged to me. And your father kept bothering you about when the wedding was happening. So you prepared the wedding and everything without even contacting me, not even once. And that wedding day is today? The wedding is today, but since you decided you're gonna get married to a different woman, you decided to contact me on the day of to cancel the wedding. I didn't know of. This is my first time hearing all this.
Didn't you see it in the calendar app we share? I wrote everything down on it.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that app. I deleted that thing a long time ago.
What? Why?
Because we broke up? Why would I keep it when there's nothing we need to share now?
I didn't approve of that. I never said I'm gonna break up with you.
Half a year ago, you told me about the president's daughter. And you said that you might just move on to her, right? And then, remember, I told you I wanted to rethink our relationship.
The only option you were given was to be my yes woman wife, not to break up. That was the decision, that you were gonna marry me.
That's what you decided on. I never agreed to it. You even said that you're calling off the wedding, remember? Even after that, remember we met up and we talked in person about breaking up?
When did we meet up?
Yeah, you were looking at your phone the whole time I was talking. I said, let's call off the wedding and end our relationship. And then you said, okay. You responded okay, so I thought you were well aware and agreed to it. I don't know how you didn't know we broke up.
No, I don't remember any of that.
You were texting the whole time while I was talking. Were you just responding without actually listening?
I don't remember anything. It's already half a year ago.
I don't want to get into an argument like this over what we said or not. I knew it. I knew you weren't listening to me. That's why I recorded everything. If you want to hear it, I have the recording as proof. So, anyways, after I broke up with you, I started seeing a different person I was introduced to. And now I'm engaged to him. As I said earlier, we're getting married and having the wedding next month. Get the picture now?
What? Well, whatever. I'm dumping you and I'm getting married to a younger and richer woman, so I don't care anymore. But you better pay for the cancellation fee for today's wedding.
That makes no sense. Why would I have to pay for the wedding that I didn't even know of until today? Remember what you said earlier? It's important to confirm each other's feelings? You didn't confirm anything with me and you just went ahead with booking a wedding venue. I have no responsibility to pay for the wedding I found out about the day of.
It's your fault that you didn't tell me you're breaking up with me.
Oh my god, I'm getting a headache. I spoke to you about breaking up and you agreed to it. Like I said, I have it recorded as proof. Not only that, we didn't even contact each other during this half a year. We didn't even meet or go on a date. How did you think we were still together? Is this a prank? I literally can't imagine how anyone could be this stupid.
Well,
You're just gonna say that you were pressured from your father or whatever, right? And that at that time you weren't engaged to the president's daughter? Not only that, but your father thought you were gonna get married with me, so how can you explain to him? Since you didn't know what to do, you decided to just book the venue so you can shut him up, right?
how did you know all that?
It's just my imagination. You're not that hard to read. You made me wait for 5 years to get married. You turned 34 and you were being asked when you're gonna get married by everyone around you. So you decided to just propose to me since you didn't have anyone else. You're the kind of person that can just call off the engagement after giving it a thought because you obviously didn't think it through. It's easy to imagine that. That's probably what also happened for today's wedding. You prepared without telling me.
If you can see through me so well, then you should just pay for the cancellation fee for today's wedding.
In what universe does that logic make sense?
You were the one who didn't tell my parents we called off the engagement and wedding. That's why I was pressured to book the wedding venue and to give the date.
Okay, this is going nowhere. I don't have time to talk with you about this nonsense. I wasn't there with you to book the wedding venue. I didn't see any contracts, nor was I notified about it. I have no responsibility to pay for it at all. Please don't involve me in your hasty decisions. I'm no longer your girlfriend or fiancé, so take care of it on your side. We both chose a different path with a different person to become happy, so let's just honor that. It'd be best to not stay in touch. Goodbye, Taylor.
Hey, wait! That's not fair. Are you just gonna end this without coming to an agreement? That's not fair that you just decided on your own. Maggie, I woke up. You were the one for me. I just got lost for a second. You're the one I'm supposed to be with. We're both still single. Let's get back together and get married. It's perfect since we already met our families and we can just pick up where we left off.
Did the president's daughter dump you? I heard you weren't even really engaged to her, right?
What? How did you know that?
The person you were talking about is gonna be my sister-in-law soon.
She's gonna become your sister-in-law. What?
Yeah, when my fiancé and I get married, she's gonna become my sister-in-law.
I don't understand. What are you saying?
Really, Taylor? I don't think there's any other way to explain this. She's my fiancé's younger sister. Is that clear enough?
What? You're joking, right? I'm seriously not following.
Are you too surprised that you lost all your senses? I told you that I was introduced to someone, right? And that I'm gonna marry him next month? It was meant to be since it all happened so fast. As if I was waiting for us to break up. That person I was introduced to was the son of M Food's president.
No way.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were talking about. Since you were talking as if you were going to become the next president of the company if you got married to the daughter, isn't it obvious that the first son becomes the president?
Wait, how were you able to get introduced to someone like that? What kind of connections would you have?
You obviously didn't seem to know and were making fun of my parents being farmers. But their business is extremely successful, to the point that we have so many companies wanting contracts with their products. M Foods turns out to be one of them who has a contract with my parents. You know all the restaurants M Food owns? They're using my parents' vegetables at every single location.
You've got to be kidding me. What are the chances?
When you came over to meet with my parents, didn't you notice anything? Like how huge the land was?
I thought that was the norm for farmers. I didn't think it was especially large or anything.
Oh my god, Taylor, I don't know what to say. Aren't you working at a food company? How can you not know about something like this when it's part of your job, Taylor?
Wait, if M Foods has a son and he's next in line to become the president, you're gonna get married to him. Does that mean you're gonna be the next president's wife?
Yeah, I guess so.
Gotta be kidding me.
Just so you know, the president is someone who made her company big on her own and raised 2 kids on her own as a single mother. She's such a wonderful person. You obviously don't know since you only saw it as a chance to become rich. But someone so wonderful luckily really likes me. She's saying she wants to be my family and that she wants me to be her family. She's someone who'd do anything for her family and loved ones.
The president's family.
That's why I told her about you. I couldn't hide it from her when her whole family is so wonderful. When she heard about everything, she came to a conclusion that you're not fit for her daughter. I was asked to tell her daughter about everything that happened between us.
Everything. From when and about what?
Everything, like how we got engaged, and how you were after we came back from meeting my parents. How you were trying to dump me to get married to the president's daughter. Literally everything I knew, I let her know.
You're kidding, right?
But my sister-in-law is so intelligent. Even before I told her anything, I guess she felt like there was something off about you. So before becoming engaged to you, she wanted to make sure what kind of person you were. It just so happened that I knew a lot about you. Although, when I told her about you telling me you guys are engaged, she did actually clarify that you two were not even engaged.
But when I told her I wanted to marry her, she responded that she was happy.
Even if she tells you she's happy to hear it, that doesn't mean she agreed or said yes. She's just saying she's happy you felt that way about her. That's all, and it doesn't mean anything more. Stop making it mean more than what it actually means. Did you even confirm with her about her feelings? Didn't you say that it was important to confirm each other's feelings when it comes to marriage?
Her telling me that she's happy is a yes. I saw her face. I was the one there, not you.
Anyway, she said she never got engaged to you because she never said yes. She talked to you about ending things, right? So you can't get married to her. Not only that, but who knows if you can keep that contract.
Wait, what contract?
Did you forget the collaboration with M Foods you were talking about before? Aren't you the one in charge of that project?
Wait, no, please no, not the contract. After working here for 12 years, it's finally my chance to get promoted. If the contract with M Foods gets cancelled, my promotion is also gonna get cancelled.
My mother-in-law values personality, integrity, and honesty more than anything. In that sense, you're already pretty much done for since she knows your true intentions.
Maggie, please, I beg you. You're going to become our family, right? Can you please talk to her and the president?
Even if that's not what they want, it's obvious that they decided they didn't want anything to do with you. Yet you want me to talk to her to get married with you and talk to the president about the contract?
You have the power to get them to agree, right? You can just tell them that you think I'll be able to do better, and I really will. I'll treasure her and I'll put all my effort into the collaboration too.
No, I don't think that's happening. So I won't be talking to them about you anymore.
Why? Why can't you just help me out?
I don't want to put my family through unnecessary things and burden them. Plus, I don't think I owe you anything to help you out. You're just my ex, someone I broke up with half a year ago and nothing more.
Come on, don't say that. We were together for 5 years. Don't you think you can help out?
I was just being held back for 5 years. That's a long time I wasted on you. I worked so hard to make you happy and to meet your expectations. I tried my best to understand and accept all your flaws. But there's something I found out after dating my fiancé. And that's that not just one person can put their effort in a relationship. That's not how a relationship works.
What?
My fiancé. He puts his effort in and also relies on me. I also do the same. We both put the same amount of effort, and that's why we can trust each other. He won't tell me or ask me something crazy or something that he knows he'll burden me with. Not only that, he's never looked down on me or my family even once. Even if he was in the same position, I know he wouldn't do what you did to me. Everything you did was just trying to control me and the situation so it works out better for you. You never thought about me and what's best for me. Everything you did was just to satisfy yourself and that ego of yours. Who would want to become family with someone like that? Would you want to become family with someone like you? Now that you know everything, let's keep our distance so that we don't have to ever interact from now on. I'd like that, and I think my in-laws will appreciate that as well. Goodbye, Taylor.
Maggie, just give me a minute. I get it. I admit that I was the one who was wrong. You don't need to be a yes woman. I can't live my life without you. My life is just darkness without you.
He ended up paying for the cancellation for the wedding venue he booked without telling me. I guess he used up all his savings for that. But he didn't have enough money, so he went crawling to his parents to borrow money to pay it off. He was told that he can't come back home until he finishes paying off his debt to them. Not only that, my mother-in-law really ended up canceling the contract they had with his company. When she was asked for the reason, she mentioned that she can't work with someone who's dishonest and has no integrity. He was taken off the project and he was demoted. Since a different person is in charge, she agreed to keep the contract, but keeping a close eye. This was the last update I received from my mother-in-law about him. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please click the like button. See you next time!
Now that Ryan is gone, you can go ahead and start moving out.
Laurie, what are you talking about? Ryan's funeral was just yesterday. I don't think I can even have this talk with you right now.
And just how long are you going to be moping around, huh? It isn't like that is going to bring him back from the dead or anything.
But you must understand how I feel. After all, your husband passed away and left you alone too, right?
Oh, him. Yeah, I was actually super happy when he kicked the bucket. Not having to take care of that old bag of bones anymore was one of the best things that could have happened to me.
I don't believe you. That can't be true. Besides, you just moved into the house that Ryan and I bought. I thought that we were going to be living together.
Well, you sure were wrong about that, weren't you? Now hurry up and pack your things. I want you out of the house as soon as possible.
I don't understand. Just what do you mean when you say you want me out of the house?
I mean that as Ryan's mother, his house is rightfully my property.
That isn't right. It's our house that we bought together as husband and wife.
Well, Francine said that she is also going to be moving in, and I can't wait for her too. So we need the space.
Wait, Francine is going to be moving in as well?
That's right. We decided that there is no use paying for my place anymore if we have a brand new house already paid for. Obviously, Ryan would have wanted us to have a place to live after he died.
I don't understand, though. The house is big enough for all three of us to live in comfortably. Can't we all just live together?
What are you talking about? Why would I want to live with someone like you? You're nothing to me with my son gone.
But this is the only place I have to live.
No. Franny and I want to live on our own, and we don't want any outsiders bothering us. We don't want to have to deal with someone else's schedule or comings and goings. Stop being so selfish right now!
But I'm not. I'm offering to let you two come and live with me. I don't understand what is so wrong about that.
I don't care what kind of charity you think you're giving us, but the fact is that we just don't want to live with you.
But what did I do? I don't know what I've done to make you dislike me this much.
I don't need to justify myself to someone like you. Do you understand me? Anyways, the movers are going to be arriving in the afternoon, so make sure you have your bags ready by then.
Wait, you want me to move out of the house by today?
That's right. And I expect you to leave us a hot meal ready on the stove when you leave, too.
This is just getting ridiculous.
You know, this is what I dislike about you the most. You have to complain and moan about every single little thing.
I wasn't trying to do that. I'm sorry.
Anyways, if you really think that you can't move everything out by the end of the day, then at least pack the bare minimum and come back for the rest of your stuff later.
This is all way too sudden. I can't just pack up and leave my own home.
If you don't do as I ask, then I am not even going to bother building a headstone for Ryan. He'll just go in an unmarked grave somewhere.
You can't be serious. You would really do that to your own son?
I would. Unless you do as I say and leave the house right now.
Okay, I understand. I guess I really don't have any other choice but to do that. My name is Tammy and I am 30 years old. 2 years ago, I married my husband. Or should I say, late husband, Ryan. 6 months ago, we discovered that he had cancer. The doctor said that it was surprisingly advanced. It all happened so quickly that I didn't even have time to get ready. It feels like it wasn't even that long ago that we decided to start a garden and try growing our own vegetables. We had so many other plans. We'd even almost finished decorating the room where our kids would sleep one day. But he passed before we could have any. Still, after his passing, I had no idea that his mother Lori and his sister Francine had such strong feelings of dislike for me. At the funeral, they didn't seem to cry or anything. They were just playing host to all of their relatives. I really didn't know what to think when they demanded my house after that. But then, sure enough, they showed up in the afternoon with a moving truck full of their things. Tammy, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be taking this necklace that I saw in the pink jewelry box. It's mine now. Oh, no, I must have forgotten that in the rush to move out. Please don't touch that. Just leave it where it is. No way! I already said that it's mine. Besides, it looks really expensive. Maybe I can sell it and get some cash. Please don't do that. It was the first gift that Ryan ever bought me. You have no idea how much it means to me. Just how long are you going to hang on to the past like this, huh? I mean, keeping something like this isn't going to help you get over Ryan. Why don't you just move on and marry someone else? How could you even say something like that? He just died and you think I could even think about doing something like that? Oh, by the way, I was just curious. Where are you staying now that we've taken over your house? I'm staying with some friends right now. Oops. I guess we should have given you a little more heads up about taking the house, huh? Oh well. Well, if you really feel bad about it, how about giving it back to me? Oh, yeah, no. That really isn't going to work for us. Sorry. Well, how is it? Are you at least finding yourselves comfortable? I don't really mean to compliment you here, but the sense of decor and furniture is just amazing. I mean, this feels like something out of a magazine. Thank you. I am really so glad that you're enjoying your time there. Well, the credit really goes to my mom. It was her idea to take over the house. She said that it was perfect since you two had already paid off everything, right? That's right. We were lucky enough to find a house that we could afford to buy outright. Wow, that is really just incredible. And in this market? But that was my brother, I guess. He did always make way too much money for his own good.
Anyways, can you please just promise to not touch anything that I might have left in my room? Your mom said that I would be able to come back and get my things later.
Aw, jeez. You should have told me that just a little bit sooner. It is a bit late for that now, though.
What are you talking about? What have you done?
Well, Mom is already laying out all of the stuff that you left behind here and choosing the things she wants to keep. Although, knowing her, half of this stuff will probably end up in the pawn shop so that she can make some cash.
Are you serious? Would she really sell my things?
Again, knowing her, she probably would. But don't worry. This necklace won't get sold because I'll be keeping it. It's all mine now.
Wait, hold on for just a second. Please don't go through my room anymore. I have a lot of things that are really precious and valuable to me in there.
I don't really see anything else in here that could be that valuable. But some of these clothes, I guess?
Please just leave everything there, okay? I am begging you to please leave those be.
Well, what about some of these stuffed animals? They look like they could be worth something.
No, please don't. Whatever you do, do not touch those. I am being really serious right now.
Oh, yuck! What the heck? This one looks like it could be a real animal. What is this?
It's just made to look that way, okay? But can you please just leave it be and not touch anything else?
No, this is too freaky. I don't want this in my house. I'm going to throw it away.
No! You can't do that! Please don't throw it away! Anything but that!
Well, I want to turn this whole room into a walk-in closet. I can't have your old crap just lying around here taking up space.
I'll come over right now to pick everything up. Just please don't throw anything away. I'll take it all home with me, I promise.
Well, I changed the lock, so I don't see how you think you're going to be getting in.
You did what? Why would you do something like that? Hey, did you come over to our house while I was out? I had to come over and pick up some very important stuff that I had left there. But by the time I got to the house, it seemed like Franny had already thrown everything away. Everything I wanted was broken and unusable. Oh, yes. She told me all about how you went into a panic over a stupid stuffed animal. Aren't you just a little too old to be playing with things like that? But it's really important to me. You don't understand what it meant to me. Well, I see that you are still hanging around our front door. Just what are you still doing here? I'm just waiting for someone is all. And just who would want to be seen in public with you, huh? Is anyone even really coming? Francine said you were going to try and sell my things without asking me first. Well, you have so many nice clothes and expensive-looking bags. I am sure that they'll fetch a nice price. Please don't touch those. So many of those were gifts from Ryan. Well then, as his mother, I suppose I have just as much claim to them as you do then, don't I? Anyways, he is dead, and it isn't like he can do anything with these things anyways. How could you say that about your own son? Don't you even care about what he would have wanted? What he wanted? And just who do you think you are to tell his own mother that she doesn't know what her son would have wanted? Anyways, we're already done moving our things in, so I am the new owner of the house. It is as simple as that. You really think that that makes you the new owner of the house? Of course not. It's the fact that it was my son's house does. He died and I inherited all of his things. That would obviously include his house. This is just common sense. But you realize it's my name on the deed, right? The house was always mine from the start. What are you talking about? Are you trying to tell me this house didn't belong to Ryan? That's right. I told him that I didn't want him to take on any debt or interest, so I paid for the house in full. Ryan was paying me back his half in bits with his salary. Wait, so you paid for this whole house yourself? Where did you even get the money for that sort of thing?
But you've also completely misunderstood how inheritance law works.
What are you talking about? What did I get wrong?
Even if the house had been under Ryan's name, the only person who could inherit it would be me.
What kind of nonsense are you spouting now? Don't be ridiculous. You and Tim weren't even blood related. How could you get the house before me?
That's just how the law works. And had we had children, then his things would have been split between the kids and I. But you never had a right to any of his things.
But I'm his mother! That can't be right. I should have first say before all of you.
I'm sure you think that's true, but the law says otherwise.
But I don't understand. If your name is on the deed of the house, then why didn't you say anything to us before?
Well, you two are Ryan's family, and so I thought of you two as my family as well. If you two really wanted to live in this house so badly, I didn't think Ryan would want me to deny you two.
So then, we can have this house? Everything is fine.
No, everything is not fine.
What? You mean because we were rude to you?
Well, you may be surprised to hear this, but it was nothing to do with how you've talked to me. The truth is that I don't get the sense that either of you ever loved Ryan.
How could you even suggest something like that? Of course I loved him. He was my son.
You threatened to not even buy him a headstone if I didn't let you move in. And you're also thinking of selling things that have a sentimental value to both him and I.
No, you've got it all wrong.
Now I am only going to ask you this once. Get out of my house.
You have got to be joking me right now. I mean, you're just a housewife. Do you really expect me to believe that you bought this house? With what money, huh?
I actually own my own business making felt stuffed animals. I have been doing so ever since I was a teenager.
Felt stuffed animals? What are you even talking about?
I am talking about animals that I handcrafted with thread and needle. The one that Franny tossed out was just one example of my work.
Are you talking about that creepy realistic stuffed animal thing?
That's right. Actually, the ones that she threw away were projects that I were working on for clients. They send me photos of their late pets, and I create a stuffed toy that looks just like them.
And so, that's why they looked so creepy. Because they're supposed to be based off of real animals.
That's right. And for the large size, I usually charge about $3,000.
You charge how much? And you have people who will pay you for that.
Well, it takes a lot of time and hard work to get them just right for my customers. I also have a blog where I upload pictures of my work and reach new customers. That is how I make my money.
Well, then I don't get what the big deal is. I mean, if you have that much money, just go and buy another house and leave us alone. Besides, this house is way too big for just one person.
That's right. Even I noticed that. That's why I was okay letting you two live in there without me.
Wait. Some people just came to the door, didn't they? Who are you talking to now?
That would be my lawyer and a police officer.
What? What are they doing here? What is going on?
Well, you're stealing my things and illegally occupying my home. Those are both crimes.
What are you saying? I'm not committing any crime. This is ridiculous.
And my lawyer just came to show the police that the record of purchase for the house, which clearly shows my name on it.
Please don't do this. Surely we don't need to involve any police or lawyers. Can't we just talk all of this out?
What are you talking about? Do you really think that I am going to let you get away with selling all of my precious memories?
But I still have all the money from the things that I sold. I promise to give it all back if you just forgive me.
It isn't the money I want. It is all the precious memories that I have associated with all of the things that you sold. Those are things that no amount of money can ever buy.
No, this isn't right. We can still figure something out.
You have no idea just how upset you've gotten me. Ryan is barely even in the ground, but Ever since he died, you have done nothing but heap more stress and guilt on me. I don't think I've ever been this angry before.
Okay, I get it. I understand. We'll leave your house. But just please tell the police officer to go away and forget all about this.
I will not be leaving this spot until I see you being taken away in handcuffs. So you might as well just give yourself up and not cause a scene.
But we're scared. We don't want to be arrested. I mean, Ryan is dead, and this is how you're going to treat his family. Can't we just make up and be friends? What if I tell my friends about your business? I know a lot of people who would love one of those toys.
I don't want you in my life, and I certainly don't need your help finding business for myself.
Please, can't we just talk? Just the two of us. I mean, we won't even have a home. And I've already quit my job because we had this place.
Well then, I guess you better start applying to some new ones then, huh? Because I am going to be suing you for all that you've done.
But I'm your mother-in-law! Would you really sue your own mother-in-law?
Oh, don't worry. You'll find out for yourself soon enough.
You're terrible. You're a monster! How could you do this?
And then I am going to be selling that house. I don't even want to live there anymore after the way you've ruined it.
Well, if you're going to sell it anyways, then can't you just give it us? We need a place to live.
No. I am going to take that money and buy a house next to the ocean, just like Ryan always wanted.
What do you mean? He wanted a house near the ocean.
That's right. He told me that it was always his dream to have a house close enough to the ocean that he could see it.
He did always like the water, ever since he was just a little boy.
But he told me that the reason he would never do it is because you were getting old and he didn't want to be too far from you. So he chose to live close to you instead.
You mean, he did that for me?
And despite that, the only time that you would ever come over before he died was when you wanted money from him.
But he never once told me any of this. Why didn't he tell me?
He said that we would wait until you passed to move into his dream house. I didn't want to make you feel bad for the choices he'd made for you. But now that he's gone, I'm going to live by the ocean, just like he'd always wanted.
But you'll still give us money when we need it, right? Just like Ryan would have wanted.
Of course not. You have your Social Security and you'll find a job. I can't believe that you convinced Ryan to pay you $2,000 a month on top of all that. Just what were you using all that money for?
Well, you know how I like to gamble, don't you?
You used all of that money just to gamble?
I mean, there are certain tables that they won't let you sit at in the casino unless you're willing to put up a certain amount of money. I just wanted to feel like a high roller is all.
I don't believe this. If Ryan knew what you were spending all of his money on, well, I am just glad that he was spared this whole horrible episode.
Oh no! The doorbell just rang. Who is that? Is it you? Is it the cops?
Why don't you come outside and see for yourself?
No! Please! I don't want to be arrested. Please don't do this to me.
You're going to find out who it was one way or another. You might as well go in a dignified manner, no?
Please! I can't go to jail! Anything but jail! Please!
Lori and Francine finally agreed to come out the house without a fight. They were both arrested for trespassing and were made to hand over their receipts from the pawn shops. The total bill for selling or destroying my belongings amounted to $50,000. That price also included compensation to my clients, who were waiting on their stuffed animals. The two of them had to take out loans to pay all they owed back and are now living in a tiny apartment where they barely make ends meet. I heard that Lori still goes to the casino, hoping for a lucky break that will save her from all this. As for me, I moved to a quiet home in the seaside and spend my days with Ryan by my side. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.